We're starting?
Yes.
This is it.
This is it.
Hey, Flosstube!
Hey, it's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche.
And Theresa from the land of Theresa.
Well, you do have a YouTube station.
I do. Mini tube.
Yes. And you're listed as Kitten
Stitcher. Yes, I'm Kitten Stitcher. It's my top secret identity.
Yeah. So we're doing we're having a stitching slumber party, but we've done no stitching up to this point.
No, we haven't. But we've talked a lot about stitching, and we have felt things, and we have smelled some things, actually.
But we're going to share some information, so I'll let you start.
We're in our PJs.
Yes.
But I thought we could start by talking about how we met.
Yes.
We have lived here now in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for 11 years. We moved here from Fargo, North Dakota, where I had a needlework shop called Shakespeare's Peddler, which was also an online store. And I had moved it into a little space over by Sam's Club, and it was mainly online. Yeah. And then one day, Jennifer was complaining online
that I was trying to find a local needlework store, and I posted on a bulletin board somewhere, does anybody know of a store near Hattiesburg, Mississippi? And then I got kind of a curt response of, well, Shakespeare's Peddler is in your town. And so I'm like, well, what is that? So I found out where she was located, and then I made plans with my two sisters to go and visit, and then I cheated and went before they could go. So.
She called me, and she was like, are you open, like to the public? Like, we can come in? And I was like, yeah. So then this Friday afternoon, she had said, well, we're going to come, my sisters and I are going to come together, so it'll be on Saturday. But then on Friday afternoon, my door opens, and Jennifer comes in, and it was like a starving person being, like, led into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Like, she was, like, looking around, like, super fast, like, I'm not supposed to be here, but you can tell she's, like, looking at things as fast as she can. She's like, I'm not supposed to be here, but this is all the stuff that I like all of this stuff. And she kind of tootled around the store, and I was like, okay, bye. And then they were customers for a long time, and I did a couple retreats, and they came to my retreats. And then one day, she and her sisters came in the shop, and they were like, we want to ask you something.
Oops, hold on. Hey, that's my son, Nicholas. Say hello, Nick.
Hey, Hattie. Hey, I'm going to head over to Clint's.
Okay, be careful.
He's going to Clint's.
Okay, bye.
So, she said, we want to ask you something. Do you want to join our Bunko group? And I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. So then we were in Bunko together, and then we bowled. We were on the bowling team together. And
that's right. What was our name?
It was a pun.
It was something about Allie.
The alley-oops.
Alley-oops, that's it.
So we got t-shirts made. So that was fun. But anyway, we're just best buddies, and we like to stitch. And Jennifer wanted us to point out how many things we have in common.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of when we started finding out about each other, we both have two sons. We both started cross-stitching young. We both worked at frame shops.
That's true.
We
got married. We were married the same year, the same month, just like 10 days apart.
Yeah. So a lot of common things. Some of the games we played when we were, newly, well, that sounds weird, but like the video games and the board games and stuff, a lot of common interests, so. But I'm trying to think of what else.
She's my science friend, so she's always amazing me with her science knowledge, and I'll be like, how come with your body does this? Because she teaches anatomy and physiology. I'm like, well, how come it does this? And she'll be like, oh, okay, here's how to, and then this, and that carries the iron, and it's molecules, and I'm like, it's magic.
Yeah. But we have a lot in common, but we have a lot of differences in our personality, which I think makes it a good match because she's much more social than I am. So I'm just like the silent partner. What's the team? Bob or Silent Bob?
Oh, yes. Jay and Silent Bob.
So I'm like Silent Bob usually.
she's not that silent. But anyway, we're having a sleepover tonight, and I haven't ever done a Flosstube video, but I know. Do you have your list?
Of questions?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have watched some Flosstube. I want to say a shout out to Vanna, she's my favorite Flosstuber. I think you're really, really funny, and I like that you put yourself out there and you're just yourself and you're not apologetic, and I like that you get mad about things. Like, I just enjoy you. But anyway, one of the things that I've seen people do is to do the get to know your needleworker.
Yeah.
So we made up a list of questions to ask each other. And how many do you have? You have 7?
I have 10.
Oh, you have 10. Okay, so let's just take turns.
Okay.
So you want to start?
Yes. So we're trying to do questions that may not be questions on other tags. So
yeah, we tried to do unique questions.
Unique.
So feel free to use any of these.
Yeah.
Some of them are kind of fun questions.
Yeah. So I was thinking, is there an UFO that you regret never finishing?
I mean, no, there have been a few times where I've had pieces that I've started that I can't get into it. I don't enjoy it. And I've always found a home for those. Like I've either sold them on eBay or I found somebody else who liked it. I think there was one time that I actually threw something away.
Really?
That it just was like, I had bought cheap. I was on vacation and I bought a pattern that I kind of liked, but not so much. And I started it on cheap fabric that they had where it was.
Yeah.
And I started it and I was like, but no, I don't think there's anything that I have that I regret.
Yeah.
How about you?
There is one now, and Emily C. from Eclectic Possessions is stitching a Halloween Quaker that I had probably gotten about not quite a quarter of it done, and then decided I didn't like it, and I cut the part off the fabric and reused the fabric, and now I'm like, what did you do? Why did you do that? But, but that's me. I'm always second guessing things, so... Okay,
my first question is, what is your favorite or your prettiest DMC color, and what DMC color is the ugliest to you?
Okay. Prettiest, I love green. And so I picked 3 because there's a range.
She can't decide.
But it's 520, 522, 523. I love these colors.
They're pretty.
And when you drive up my driveway, you probably would guess because this is the color of my house. So.
And then the ugliest one is?
946. And I had a hard time with this because there's several of them I don't necessarily like, but then I like some of the patterns that I've used them in. But this one's kind of a weird orange. And I was trying to explain that it kind of has a blackness to it. It's a darkness to it I don't like.
Yeah,
so.
it's not a great color.
Yeah.
Let's see. So mine, actually I'm going to be super boring. And ecru, I think, so you all know what ecru looks like. It's cream. And I just really like this color. And I know it's not even really a color, but
that's your favorite?
That's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I think you can do a lot with it. And I think it's, it's a underappreciated player. It's not flashy, but it's practical and it's pretty. And my least favorite one is this.
Oh.
Tell me that's not an awful color. This one is $38.89. I think it's one of the newer colors. Oh, it doesn't even look as horrible on screen as it does in person.
Highlighter.
It's like an electric yellow, but it's like nuclear urine, kind of, I would call it.
That would be a problem. Yes.
Isn't that gross?
Yeah, that's not.
It's a bad color.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
All right, so this is because she was a shop owner, and I love these kind of stories. But tell us about one of the most memorable customer experiences you've had.
Well, okay, so the one that first comes to mind is I had a lady who came in my store in Hattiesburg, and my store was cute. It was 2 little rooms, but I had hundreds of models on the wall. And
it was
everywhere.
A great shop.
And lots and lots of patterns. I had an amazing cupboard full of hand-dyed fabrics and just really cool stuff. And I had this woman who drove in from a couple of hours away, and she came in and she was like, oh my God. And then she was like, I need to sit down right now. And she sat on the floor. She literally plopped on the floor and was like, I just have to sit. She got so overwhelmed.
We are deprived in the state of Mississippi. People don't understand. It's Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and that was a big deal. And then Theresa comes in.
To me, that was super memorable.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So that's a good one.
So do you have a memorable customer then? Since
well,
you have
actually,
a store now online.
I have had someone find my phone number and call me at home.
Don't do that.
So, and she was really nice, and I helped her and everything, but it was surprising. And I called Theresa. I'm like, she called me at home. She's like, yeah, that happens.
That happens. I've had people track me down different places.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question, I kind of like this one. I don't know if this is one that's been asked. What is the one that got away? So, what's the one design, kit, fabric, supply, something that you saw in a store or online once that you were like, oh, I want that, but no, I really shouldn't. But now you're like, oh, why didn't I get that? Because you can't get it anymore.
Mine is a piece from Old Colonial.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be what it was.
It was which market?
2015, maybe?
2015. It was this.
No, or 2014 maybe.
That's right. It was just this little ceramic
Polish pottery that had purple,
and
like tiny little purple flowers.
And then you would stitch the top, and it was beautiful, and I did not get it, and I wish I would have.
And you can't get it anymore. No. For me, mine was, I had a Fabric of the Month club, and I got in some fabric from Silk Weaver that was called Pecan Pie. And sometimes every batch is different, but I got in a batch that was amazing. It was all so beautiful. And it was one of those where I really wish I had like saved a yard for myself, or even just, a quarter of a yard or something, but I never had any that I added to my stash. And so then I kind of lamented it, and I could never find it again. And then last year or a year and a half ago, I ordered a yard from Silk Weaver, because I was like, if I order a yard, I'll probably get, and guys got it relatively quickly because it was a whole yard. And so I think they thought, oh, that's a good sale or whatever. So they dyed it up, and it was not the same.
No.
It had kind of like pink splotches on it, and it's totally usable, but it was not the same.
I might have some in my stash. If I do, I'll give you.
Okay, nice.
Because I know I was showing something in my video yesterday that was on pecan pie.
Oh, okay, it was so pretty.
If I have any, I'll give it.
Okay, so you're next.
Okay. Oh, by the way, don't you love my notebook? I made this cover.
Nice.
Okay. Do you have any embarrassing cross-stitch mistakes?
I sewed a piece to my leg once.
That's funny. So,
I was stitching with, like on my knee and just like this, and I went to pick my piece up and it was like, stuck to my pants.
So
How about you?
I've heard of people stitching like a piece to the back. I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Well, mine was, I stitched a piece on linen and I didn't read the instructions, and no one around me had stitched on linen, so I stitched 2 over 1 on like 32
I did that too.
Didn't know what I was doing.
I didn't know.
So. It is
that's how Marie
best coverage on linen ever.
Oh, so. Yeah, but impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite needle?
I like Bowen needles. I like 26. I do not like petites. My fingers are too fat for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll use pretty much any needle.
She will. So. I like the Bowens too. It's a French needle. They're very smooth, and it's just most tapestry needles are about the same. Yeah. Like length, but I feel like, I don't know, to me it feels like a perfect needle. It's very smooth. The eyes don't break easily. They don't get that tarnished feel to them. It's a really good needle. And when you think about it, like our needles, that's our main tool, and they're so cheap. When you think about other hobbies, how expensive it can be to get tools.
I think it was a Mary Arden.
Mary Ardens are good.
Yeah, I mean, but the one I had the other day, I bought it at the retreat, and it went, I threaded it through underneath a couple of stitches, and it caught the needle, what is it? The eye was broken. Oh, and that took forever for me to figure out how to get that on. I actually had to break it. So.
Oh, geez. So. Okay, you're next.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Is there a pattern that you want to stitch that may not be in vogue? Like,
there is one that I would love to do. I collected for a while Marjolaine Bastien charts, which are very, very pretty. And it's a fussy project, but she has one booklet. I think you've seen it. It's called Vera Mouse. And it's this cute little watercolor mouse, and she's got like a picnic basket and a ladybug friend. And
that's cute.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not anything that I really hear people talk about, but it's a very cute pattern, and I'm sure you can find it on eBay. But.
Yeah. Well, I decided that I was going to stitch something out of an older Just Cross Stitch. It's one of those flowers of the month, and it's 12 and it's huge. It's in my whip. You'll see it in my next whip parade video. It is very 80s.
I think I was when you showed me that. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah. It's gonna be
and she was like, it's going to be so pretty.
It's going to be perfect. By the time I finish it, I'll be old, and it'll be what I should hang in my house.
Yeah, you're right.
So, all right.
Okay. Best favorite shop you ever visited?
Besides Shakespeare's Peddler. I actually got to, I went to Shepherd's Bush this summer, but I really like Stitcher's Haven in Guntersville, Alabama. I mean, the lady there is super nice, and she has a really good selection. And, you know, it's a pretty town with the lake and everything. I really like that shop. And but I did get to go to Shepherd's Bush, and it's like I spent 3 hours in there, quietly going through boxes and boxes of patterns. So, what about you?
I, back in like 1995, got to go to the Scarlet Letters farmstead.
Oh, wow.
And she has multiple buildings from, you know, the 17 and 1800s. She had peacocks roaming the grounds. She had like a weekend where she was open. You could get they would get a sheep and shear it for
Oh, really?
you, and you could buy the bag of wool that came off the sheep. But she had this really old building that was full of antique samplers and the reproductions and reproduction kits and sampler books and needles and fabric and frames. And it was,
wow.
and she was in costume, and you could go outside, and there was a tent with ham sandwiches, and it was all these sampler lovers were there, and it was a great, really, really fun day.
What state?
That was in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the town is. But anyway, that was quite memorable. So it was
I can
really,
imagine.
really fun.
Wow.
Okay, you're next.
Okay. Where am I at? Okay, what do your kids think about your stitching hobby?
You know, I think my family thinks it's, like, they're supportive. They're supportive.
Yeah.
But I think they think it's a little crazy. I would say my sons, I would say, are you know, they will be more vocal about, like, oh, that's really cool. It's mainly, you know, like, they're very supportive of my designs, and I think my husband thinks the reproductions are really cool.
Yeah.
But
my kids are, you know, that's all they've known that I do. They just think it's part of what I am. My husband, I was telling Theresa earlier, I was going through magazines one day going, oh, I wish I could stitch more. I haven't stitched. And he's like, you've got things everywhere in our house. You stitch plenty. But, I mean, I've stitched things for him that he appreciates. And then my sisters, they all cross stitch. So.
Okay, what is your biggest or one of your biggest stitching pet peeves?
When I'm stitching, what drives me nuts and makes me want to just rip a piece of fabric in half is when you pull the thread through after you've got it looped and you're all ready and you pull it right through. That makes me so mad.
What makes me mad is when I'm stitching and I bring the needle up and the thread does that thing where it like loops on itself and creates the unbreakable knot.
Yeah.
And it's on the front.
And how do you...
So what do you do? And like... So then sometimes your solution is to like poke your needle down and then try to yank it through the back of the fabric and you create this huge hole in your fabric.
And you're not going to get a blue ribbon.
No, you're not going to get a blue ribbon. So you end up like trying to pull the knot. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to be gentle. Like, and then you're like, ugh! I hate those knots. Yeah. It's annoying. All right, your turn.
Okay. Who is the most interesting person you have taught to cross stitch?
There was a girl in the graduate assistant office. She was like a wild party girl. Her name's Caroline. And she was a wild party girl. She was very social. She just really wasn't someone that I thought would like needlework. And I always had it in the office. During my office hours, I would sit and stitch at my desk. And she just one day kind of expressed an interest, and I showed her a few things, and she went out and bought a kit, and she still, I hear from her once in a while, she still stitches.
Oh,
like she neat. Just, yeah. How about you?
When I was in 6th grade, I had taken cross stitching to school with me, and a bunch of the kids were interested, and so these 4 guys asked me if I would teach them to cross stitch, so I made up little kits, and we all stayed in at recess. And Miss Shivers, she was the teacher.
Miss Shivers.
She in her room, and I taught 4 6th grade boys how to cross stitch.
That's cute.
So they all cross stitched little footballs.
Aw.
So.
Okay, favorite piece that you haven't stitched yet, and why haven't you stitched it?
Okay, I've got mine, and this is.
Do you have a show and tell? No.
Yeah, it's over. I put it over there. Hold
okay,
on.
She's got a show and tell.
Oops.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Sally, are you having fun? Okay, so this is truly one of the things I've wanted to stitch forever. This is one of Theresa's charts. It's the Spanish Mystery Sampler.
It is pretty.
I love this, and she has this framed and had it in her shop, and I would just stand and look at it.
It's big.
Such pretty colors. It's so subtle, and I like the fact that it's not
finished.
The
bottom of the sampler was actually cut off, and so there's no name on it, no date. It's just a mystery, but the alphabets are Spanish. So it's just kind of a mystery as to who this person was. But yeah, it is a very pretty sampler.
And what's the thing that you think might have happened?
Well, some people have said, like, oh, she was maybe embarrassed about her age, because a lot of times women would pick the date out and their age at the time that they stitched it because they didn't want people to be able to figure out how old they were. I think Sue, my friend Sue, thinks, like, what if she was, the sampler belonged to the family, and then she was like the black sheep, and they cut her off.
Yeah, that's the story.
Or else, like she cut off her name and she gave it to her lover who went to the war.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
We don't know. She probably got a knot on the front of her fabric, and then she went to rethread and pulled it through and was like, ah!
I hate this
stupid thing.
I have not stitched this because I haven't gotten the fabric yet, so I just need to buy a piece of the fabric
and just stitch it.
And I want to do it in the silks too.
Yeah, you should. It is very pretty. So I have these, and I every time I go through my stitching, I look at them. If y'all remember Needleprint, and I couldn't really decide which one. This is Rebecca Jeffcoat. This is Rebecca Blake, and then this is Martha Brady. They're all similar, and they're very, very pretty. I see these on eBay sometimes if you're interested in getting any of the Needleprint charts. They're very good quality charts. The one thing that I noticed when I used to sell them at my shop is that the silk colors were more like the color that they would have been rather than like the antique colors. And I think that when I do stitch them, I want it to look like old. I like the old faded, grungy color look. And I don't know why I haven't started them. Quakers are actually really fun to stitch, and they're not terribly difficult. There isn't any back stitching, and they're beautiful when they're done. So I have I don't have a good reason why I haven't started those.
And a lot of people say they like it because each motif is like a finish.
Yeah, it's like you can just kind of blaze your way through, but they're very, very pretty.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, you can borrow.
I love those. Rebecca.
Martha.
And so you're saying that the
silk colors when I would put a kit together for people, I would get the threads together, and I'd be like, they
really
were kind
bright.
of, it was kind of brighter and more pastel-y looking.
Oh, okay. So when you do reproduction samplers, do you try to match the color that it should have been, or the color that
I always match the color that it looked like on the front, because I think that's what's pleasing to us. Yeah. A lot of times the colors that they used were pretty ugly and gross, because they didn't have the range of colors they didn't have 400 colors at DMC. They had stuff that was dyed with just crap from the yard. It wasn't always great. Okay, you're next.
All right, so is there another hobby you want to be as adept at as cross-stitching?
Oh. I've often thought it would be fun to learn to quilt, but I just can't muster the gumption to do it. I think it would be fun to be like a better seamstress. I have a great sewing machine that I don't use very often, and there are so many cute patterns of just household things, and so I think if I could, sewing's not easy for me because I don't do it enough, and so to bring out my machine, I know there's a lot of cool stuff you can do that people are like, oh, I just whipped up this cosmetics bag this weekend, and it would be fun to be able to do that.
Yeah, I like quilting. It's not, it is one of the things you've got to spend time doing. So, rug hooking. I want to learn to rug hook, and I've been driving you nuts for a couple of years about this, but I just need to. I've got the wool. I've got patterns. I now have the stripper for my hooking.
She wants to be a stripper, and then she wants to be a hooker.
So embarrassing. I've even got the materials and everything, and I don't know. I just need to just.
Sometimes it's easier if you have somebody lead you through stuff like that. It would be better if there was somewhere. We could, anyway.
And the person that we did have one shop in Mississippi, but she moved to Maine, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. What do you think is a most underrated design? So this is for those of you who want to copy these questions, what is something that was a design you loved, but you feel like it just kind of flew under the radar?
I have to think about that one. maybe I just stitch what everybody else wants to stitch. I don't know. I mean, well, you go ahead.
Well, so I had a show and tell to bring, and I left a stack of stuff on my table, but it was a chart the chart was called Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Designs. And it was a reproduction of a sampler that I think they bought in Texas. And it was kind of a basket at the bottom with lollipop-style flowers.
Yeah.
That there were like 5 flowers that came out. And then several of them were stitched in chain stitch that worked in circles.
Mm-hmm.
And then there just was like an alphabet and a really pretty... the colors were just like blues and, you know, like some antique cherry reds and
that's
some
the
golds.
one with the striped basket.
Yeah, with a striped basket.
Yeah, that was
and
a pretty one.
it's I finished it. It was fun to stitch. It works up pretty quickly and it's very, very pretty. And it came out and it didn't sell well. And I waited a couple years and I put it on my website again thinking people would finally see it for as beautiful as it was. And it just never did. And I just think it's beautiful.
I don't know. I guess I'm not familiar with what a lot of people have stitched versus not. I mean, like this one right here, this is a Pineberry Lane. I love that one, and I don't know if it was a popular one. So
it's pretty.
Yeah. But I remember the one you're talking about. Yeah, that was a beautiful one. I think I have that pattern.
It's good. I think it's still available actually.
What's your favorite floss color? Oh, I copied you.
You copied me.
Well, let's do this. What is your, other than DMC? Okay. What is your absolute favorite fiber to work with? Brand name.
A Veriswa is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Silken Colors by the Thread Gatherers. She has some of her colors that are more of like a solid color. She just nails some of those colors that are sampler colors, just kind of the mossy greens and the creams and the like dusty reds and stuff like that. She does a great job. Weeks Dye Works has some amazing, beautiful, beautiful colors. Yeah. Her sense of color is very, very good. I think there's something to like about just about everything. Yeah. I like it a lot. How about you?
Do you like I love Gloriana silks.
Oh, yeah, they're very, very nice.
I haven't stitched with silks as much, but I love Gloriana.
Yeah.
Every time I get to use a Gloriana,
yeah, very, very good. Yeah. So, yeah.
What about one of the things that I've noticed a lot of people are using the extremely variegated threads, like different colors. And that one, I'm wanting to find, because they're beautiful threads, but I just don't know what I could stitch that has that unless you get one of those kind of like monochromatic.
Yeah. Sampler. And I think that sometimes that ends up looking, I'm not super into the ones that have different colors in the same skein because it ends up looking really stripy and distracting.
Yeah.
But everything has their place, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to use them because they're so pretty.
They are pretty, but it's fun just to own them too.
Yeah, I see. Didn't think of that.
Okay, if I could only stitch one designer for the rest of my life, who would it be?
I probably would say Brenda Gervais. But I like Stacey Nash too. And I like Shakespeare Fellow. But I love Brenda Gervais stuff.
Yeah, her stuff is very pretty. Yeah. And it's fun to stitch. Yes. And it's her colors are pretty and she just has lots of small just things that just complete parts of it.
She does this kind of thing, if you notice that there'll be, and you were showing this on some charts earlier today, there's like a theme that she'll have like 3 or 4, and I love that. Mm-hmm. You know, I like where there's similarities amongst things and I can complete a set. So that probably is appealing to me as well.
Yeah. She'll have like a whole year where she'll release things that are all kind of matched together.
Yeah. Like the big red bird with the alphabet. She's had several of those where the alphabet's sprinkled around the piece. So
yeah.
What about you?
And it's funny because I haven't really finished much by her, but I think Scarlet Letter. Yeah. I think you could stitch forever and find things. You know, she's got hundreds of reproductions, and there are different styles. There are Quakers, there are American pieces, British pieces, German pieces, monochrome pieces.
And her colors are so
pretty. Are pretty. Yeah. Lots of different techniques, like different types of stitches over one. And so I just think that even though it's kind of a similar theme, like it's all reproductions, I think there's a lot of variety there.
Yeah. She's a Boston Terrier lover.
Oh, see, that's another reason.
I didn't realize that. We got to meet her at market, and she was showing me on her.
Wait a minute, not Scarlet House. Scarlet Letter.
Oh, never mind.
But she's nice. And
So
her pieces are very pretty.
Yeah. We'll edit that out.
That's fine.
So, okay.
Okay, your turn.
Which new designers are you most impressed with?
Satsuma Street, I think, has got a really good look.
Yeah. Her colors are great.
Yeah, her colors are great. I have a lot of room in my heart for the oldies but goodies, you know, Lizzie Kate and Carriage House samplings, and not that they're old. We're gonna get a thumbs down.
We'll edit that out too.
But I think there's so many people that have been in the business for a long, long time that they still come up with fresh ideas and so
yeah.
But it's always fun to see new people too.
Yeah, I'm excited because there are a lot of younger designers and there's a lot of younger stitchers. That's one of the things that was impressive about Flosstube. How many youngins are out there cross stitching? Yeah. So. All right.
Was that me? I think it's your turn.
No, that was mine. That was 10 for me.
Oh, okay. You missed number 9 though, I think. So okay. So anyway, what is the ugliest thing you've ever stitched?
Well,
I think it's cute. It's cute. It's kind of ugly.
It is ugly.
It's the colors. It's the colors, I think.
Yeah.
But you did a good job.
Well, thank you.
Show them your back. As a child, look at that neat back. That's awesome.
My mom would have made me pick it out and redo it. She was one of those tough ladies.
And I don't think this is It's not. I mean, it definitely looks. So this is one of the first things I stitched, and it was a kit it was a needlepoint kit, and it's got different types of like fill stitches.
It's really pretty on screen.
I did a pretty good job. Like it's. Pretty even. It didn't get wonky, and I followed directions and did the different stitches and things. But it's not super attractive. It's where I hang this in my closet.
I love the blue though. That's a neat stitch.
Neat. So, yeah, it's
really,
definitely.
It looks really good on screen though. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be pretty.
That's okay. All right. Oh, and we talked about earlier too. I've given away so many pieces that I'm sure there's something uglier that I gave somebody, and I'm so sorry. We were talking about this. And Stony Creek has a lot of very pretty patterns, but I just remember all the back stitching where it's just like you're jig-jagging everywhere forever trying to back stitch those things. And,
and I made one with a flute and a piece of music. Paper, and it was not. There is one, I just thought of this one. I stitched for my brother. Well, I stitched for myself, and then my brother wanted, so I gave it to him. But it's the Native American on the horse. Everything's looking down with the very distinct rainbow behind it.
Oh, no.
It was
very
gorgeous.
Pretty.
So,
it's probably good that he wanted that one.
And then I framed it in a black frame, but with this. Where's that green? Like this color matte, because it was my favorite color, and I had a whole bunch of matte. It was gorgeous. He still has it in his house.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and you got to go back and catch number 9.
Which count fabric do you least like?
Oh, least like 28. Well, 25. 25.
25.
19. Yeah, it's okay.
I don't think I've ever stitched on 19.
20, 25 maybe.
I used
14 count Ada.
Yeah, 14 count Ada.
That's the worst to me.
Me too. I'm intrigued with 16 and 18 count Ada now because I've seen a lot of people stitching on it, and it's really cute stuff.
That's fair.
Maybe the Prairie Schooler Santas and stuff. So.
Okay, I guess this is sort of similar to. This is my last one. Sort of similar to one of your questions. What needlework technique would you like to learn? And I guess you can't say rug hooking because you already said that.
No, heart anger. I really want to learn how to do that. And then Miss Oh So Crafty, Stephanie, keeps showing the little ornaments that she's doing with heart anger. I'm like, no, I really want to do those.
Some of that's really, really pretty. I tried at one point to teach myself how to tat because my great-grandma knew how to tat, and she did some really beautiful work. But by the time I was old enough, she said she wasn't interested, that she couldn't teach me. She was a little bit crabby as she got older, but
that's that bobbin lacing. You've got the tatting and the needle tatting.
Yeah, and then the needle lace is really cool too. Yeah. And they have pretty supplies because they have a little ramp with velvet, and then they get all these little
needles,
all the pins, and then they get these cool bobbins for the really fine thread, and they do this, and they move them, and they weave it. And we had people in the guild that used to do bobbin lace, and it was really, really pretty.
That there's a show that you can watch on Netflix. What is it? Larkspur to something another. I don't know. It's a British series, and there's one episode where they show the bobbin lace making, and it's just real intriguing.
Yeah.
And I know Michelle Rudy from Farm Girl actually got a set off of Stash Unload. I think there were many of us going, no, we wanted it. Oh man,
it is neat, and some of the bobbins are just so pretty. Yeah. Okay, so that was our get to know your needleworker.
Yeah. And
then I had Jennifer and I went to Nashville Needlework Market. I feel like my shirt is all bunchy. This is my thrift store $1 cassette tape T-shirt. We're in our PJs.
This is my USM free T-shirt because I worked Darwin Day.
So we went to market together in March, and she used to go with me when I had a shop and when I had a booth. And so this year I went with her to help her shop for her Etsy store, which was really fun.
Yes.
And so I bought some things at market, but I haven't looked at them since market.
Really?
Nope. And I just haven't. I've been busy at work and busy with fostering kittens, and I have worked on other projects. I just haven't opened my bag. And so I brought my bag and it's for us to discover what I found at market.
Oh, fun.
So now one of these, Jennifer actually found this in her car that I had left it there, and I just got it back today.
It was under the seat.
It was under the seat. It is a scissor fob. Hold still. And it's a jellyfish with rosary beads and a cool little clip here at the top. And I just think it's so neat. And I got it from the Michelle Ink booth, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember her name, but she makes all this silver, charms and things. And I think it was like $12.
Yeah.
It was like super, super cheap. And I think it's just the cutest thing. And then we went to Weeks Dye Works, and I got a couple of colors of wool because I kind of collect their wool. And so this is dungarees, which is a really pretty navy, birch, which is kind of a neutral kind of tannish gray, and fawn, which is a little more of a yellow.
So pretty.
They're neutrals, but they're very pretty. I got a yard of beige linen that's, 35 count. And it doesn't look great on screen, but it's really kind of a splotchy neutral. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Is that almost
the same? Yeah, it's almost the same as that fawn. And then I got some of this too. This is 36 count Havana. And it's a pretty kind of chestnutty brown.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, so we got this. We went to the Primitive Hairs booth, and she gave me one of these bags that she had.
Love
with her
that
little
bag.
hair on it, which is really cool. And let's see. Okay, so we went to the Dames of the Needle. These are kind of fuzzy looking, but she had velvet that she had dyed, which is really pretty, like for finishing. So there's this color, which is raw cocoa. There is this one called patina. And then
I forgot about
this
those.
one
Those are
called
beautiful.
Cockles and Mussels. And it's a pretty kind of smoky purple.
Oh, that's so pretty.
That is pretty.
I completely forgot about those.
Yeah, I'll have to we should share them.
Yeah.
They're very pretty. They're very kind of blackbird designs type colors, a
Yeah.
rose, a purple, and a kind of a sagey
That's a good way to
brown.
describe them.
Okay, and then she had some really cool trims too. So I got some of that mini pom-pom trim. I got the dark plum and noir. So it's like a purpley. Oh, now I'm seeing why people on Flosstube do this. Because it never looks as good on the screen. It's very pretty in person, but it's a mini pom-pom. And then
I think I'm going to start putting that in my Etsy
okay,
store.
so these are really, really cool. Let's see if I can get these close. So the Primitive Hair had her booth was the cutest. Like she had tons of stuff, fabric, frames, and she had these pins that one of her friend made. And this is a rabbit and a moon. And I'm going to hold it up here and see if I can get it to where it's not too, but they're very, very cute.
And she had,
and it was like $8 or something insane like that. I don't know how she did it for such a cheap price. Okay, yeah, and these are from the Michelle Ink booth. So these are she had more of these sterling silver things that she made. And look at this pretty little roses wreath. And this was $20, but look at how big it is, and it's sterling silver. That's really pretty.
Yeah, that is pretty.
And then this one is a little spider on a web.
Cute.
Very, very cute. That one was, I don't remember. They were really inexpensive. And then this one is, it almost looks like a little locket with a flower on it.
Yeah.
Like a little, almost, yeah, a little rose. So those are really cool.
She was really sweet.
She was very sweet. And she's very talented. This is Samplers Not Forgotten, and they had, remember this one? BG 1874, which just was amazing. Let's see. Oop. You see it? It's very cool. It's really long and skinny, and it's like 2 samplers in one. You know, this was new at market.
Yeah,
and
she had not completed the
reproduction, but she had the original there, right?
Yeah.
And it was really, really neat. I just thought it was really unusual, so that was pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, Weingarten by Cathy Barek was one of the stunners of market. And Jennifer's got this in her Etsy shop. This was based on a purse design, and she had the purse at market, and Jennifer has a picture of the purse on her shop. And Cathy nailed it. She nailed the colors. And this piece is so pretty in person.
It is
gorgeous. The colors are amazing. It's very, very, very pretty. And I got Miss Elizabeth Perkins there too. And I think you have her in your shop. And she's very cute and dainty. Very dainty. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, Animal Crackers by Stacey Nash. How can you not love a little orange cat in overalls with a bag? Like, that's super cute. Theresa Kogut, she had these really pretty angels. Now, you had those, but you're probably out. Yeah. Can you get them?
Probably so. Love that.
Oh, yeah. Fracture Flowers by La Di Da. This one was really, really, really pretty.
I love those colors.
Here's another one of Theresa Kogut's Angels. Very, very pretty.
Yeah, those sold out fast.
This was a really cute punch needle. They never look on the chart like they do in person.
And I think I still have some of those.
That one's really, really cute. I think you do. I think you had 2 left.
I love punch needle. I need to do more of that. I need more days in the
this one.
In the day.
So My Dear Hearts by Blackbird Designs. Very pretty. This was one of the best things at market. Clearly, easily. Colonial Hair by Primitive Hair.
Yeah.
They were so cute. And I got the fabric. There's like this fabric where it's got the words written on it.
That's that Bolin linen.
And it's very, very pretty. Amy from AB Designs gave me this, the crazy cat lady. I had taken presents for people. I forgot about that. Yeah. I took pin cushions that I made and gave to designer friends. And Amy said, well, you are the crazy cat lady, so I better give you one of those. That was nice. Sweet. She's very nice. Let's see what else I've got. Some freebies. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about this one.
I did too.
It's like seeing it for the first time. So this was Hands Across the Sea samplers. Did you get any of those?
I did not.
Look at how pretty it is. That is so pretty.
That is pretty. Look at the bee.
So pretty. She was very sweet. I think I gave her something too, and I think she gave me one of these cards as just a sweet gesture.
Yeah.
Very pretty, very pretty. She did not have the original sampler there. She had just like a big picture, didn't she? Like a big blown up picture.
Because she didn't want to bring them all from overseas.
Okay, and I got some fabric from Marilyn at Picture This Plus. I forever wanted some of this stupid ancient linen. Yeah. And it's hard to describe. It's like blue and green and kind of yellow, and it's sort of weird, but in a good way. Pretty. So that's ancient. And that's, I think, 32 count is probably what I got. No, 36. Groovy. I like her 36 count. And then this was a newer color. This is called Oaken. And this is a nice kind of cocoa brown.
That's a pretty color.
Very pretty. Very pretty. I'm almost to the bottom here. I've got...
This is fun, though.
Yeah, this is super fun.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I did. Okay, so I got some Old Salem linen from Primitive Hair. And this is you can smell it's coffee.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 30 count, and it's a pretty big piece. And I don't think I paid that much for it. Her stuff was underpriced, I thought, because it was really, really cute.
Yeah.
And I got, at Gloriana, I got some pretty ribbons, some silk ribbons for finishing. And I got this from Primitive Hair. I forgot about that.
That's pretty.
Look at this thread keeper. How cute is that? It's a little owl with a moon. That's really cute.
That is cute.
Oh, it's like stepping into the booths again for the first time.
We had so much fun.
We did have fun. Here's more ribbon from Gloriana, a green, pretty green and a red. And then I've got some. Fun. I think have designed with her threads, and they're very, very pretty. And these were a bunch of new colors, I think.
Yeah.
And they're very nice.
Oh, those are pretty. I like that one.
Yeah. Did you sell out of the ones that you got that were the limited edition? She got some really cool.
I might have one set left.
Limited edition threads. Oh, here, I did have one. I did get one of these. This is Michelle Ink again. It's a little sterling silver pumpkin.
That's a good
He's
pumpkin.
really cute. And I got this. I got another piece of linen from the Primitive Hair. This one is.
That's pretty.
It just says Rainbow Collection, and it's 30 count linen, and it's kind of a cocoa coffee color. And
she's so nice.
She's really nice. Cecile at the Button Company gave me a big pack of buttons that are really cute.
I love her. She's
so nice. Oh, and Nikki from Nikki's Creations, she made these little crocheted rabbits that are like little thread holders, and she gave me that just to be sweet.
She's the one that thought. You want to tell the story?
What? Oh my gosh! It's like she insulted both of us trying to say something nice. Nikki is the nicest, sweetest, classiest lady. And I walked into the booth and I was like, hey, Nikki. And she was like, oh, Theresa, it's so good to see you. Oh, is this your daughter? She says about Jennifer. And then she really looked at Jennifer and she was like, oh, no. Like, first of all, she's like, this adult woman is clearly, you're older than her enough that you look old and this is your daughter. But then she was like, oh, no way. There's no way that you could be as young as I thought you were. Yeah. Like it was super funny. She didn't mean it. It was just funny. We were not offended.
Yeah.
And then Cecile at the Button Company gave me these buzz buttons.
Oh, that's cute. You need to
See,
get
I need
that,
to get that. I need to get that buzz block thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I got, that's right. Lori Markovic at Lottie Dog gave me this little pin.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And that's pretty much about it. Otherwise, I've just got kind of the dregs in here.
Pretty.
Yeah. But anyway, that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
I feel like I just went to market again.
Oh, I'm so ready to go back.
It's fun.
It was so tiring because, it's not faint of heart. You've got to be prepared. I'm going to be better prepared next year.
She did great.
So.
She picked out good things. It was fun. And we got surprises too, just, like the Santa design.
Yeah. Oh, for the Santa design. So, we went to, what is it? Broderie World?
Something like that.
And they have several designers from Europe, and there was one, Sarah G. And she had gorgeous pieces.
Really cute.
It's just these really neat, scenes.
Seasonal scenes with lots of detail and lots of characters, but kind of in a primitive way.
Yeah.
And I had seen this one that was like a winter one with Santas and things and houses. And I was like, oh, Jennifer, you have to buy that one. People will totally buy that.
And I listened to Theresa. She's my number one advisor. So I bought 3 of them.
She bought 3, and they were not cheap.
No.
They were like $25 retail, right?
$32.
$32 retail. Okay. Yeah. So we get in the car on the way home, and I'm looking through what she bought, and I was like, wait a minute.
I'm driving down the interstate, and I can't look at what she's looking at.
I said, are these Santas nude? And I'm looking, and they're like Santas huddled around a campfire with just in their boxers, and there's Santas by a clothesline just in their boxers. And I'm pretty sure one of them is peeing on a tree. And Jennifer was like, "Oh no, what did you make me buy? You told me to buy it." I was like, "I didn't know. It looked cute. It looked cute." But they've sold. So
yeah, it is really cute, and you
it
don't
is cute,
notice
and
it
you don't notice it, but
until you look at it really close.
yeah, takes all kinds.
But then her Halloween one,
the Halloween one is
very closely. There are no
Halloween
nude.
one. There are no nude people, and she's got those still in her shop, so
Yeah.
I highly recommend that.
But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was interesting. And, I've been to the market to help, and then it was interesting to go from the
as
other
the buyer.
as the buyer. So, and I mean, I'm having fun with the store. I mean, I would help Theresa, and I like to organize, and I like to put things in little packages and everything. So it was fun. So I get to do that. What was it used to call me, the reverse tornado? Because I come in and put things in alphabetical orders. But it's been fun. So
Well, I mean, that's 50 minutes of us blabbering.
You ready to cross stitch?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks for spending time with us.
Yeah.
And if you stayed this long and we didn't offend you, give her a thumbs up. She's great.
Yeah, thanks.
And visit Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy.
Yeah.
She's got cool stuff. I just did a little shopping myself and got some fabric.
And then check out, what's the name of your
well, Mini Toot, Kitten Stitcher on YouTube. I do miniatures.
It's amazing. Her little miniatures. I mean, when she was telling me she's going to do this, I'm like, that's great. I mean, that's really going to be interesting. And then I'll watch it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I make every person in the house look at these tiny little whatever she's making, and it looks real. And then there's a nickel next to it so you can see scale. I know Theresa is very talented, but her talents go beyond cross stitching. It's amazing. So,
aw, shucks.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, we're going to go stitch and stay up late.
All right. Bye.
Bye.